give us a sense of what is going on the ground. And what we definitely do know, certainly if Twitter is anything to go by at this point, is that we are expecting dramatic announcements very shortly in terms of the outcome. And we're hearing those dramatic announcements could be happening right now.
We have some early results. I can see on channel 12, we have the Likud party at 37 seats and the Blue and White party on 33. That is on channel 12. We are seeing also on channel Khan, that is the public station, we are seeing a Likud party at 36 and Blue and White on 33. So already we are seeing a bit of a trend here. The Likud has pulled ahead of the Blue and White party. That is certainly good news for Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, but it doesn't hold the total story. Now we're looking at some more other results. This is channel 12, the full results. The Joint Arab List of Parties we're seeing has 14 seats on channel 12. We are seeing the Yamina list has 7 seats. The United Torah Judaism list, ultra-Orthodox, 7. The Shas party, 9. And Labor Gesher Meretz, 7. And Yisrael Beitenu party, 6. So we are seeing somewhat better for the right. And if we just look quickly here, 9. We at the thing. It looks like we may still be in a political deadlock. We have now 30. We have 14. We're looking at those. We're seeing on your screen the full results. I want to go again over them. 37 seats for the Likud, 33 for Blue and White. This is on channel 12. 14 for the Joint Arab List, 6 for the Yisrael Beitenu party, 9 for the Shas party, 7 for the United Torah Judaism, 7 for the Yamina list, and 7 for Labor Gesher.
So right now, let's get the latest reaction. Diplomatic correspondent Eli Hochenberg is at the Likud party headquarters in Tel Aviv. Eli, it looks like a dramatic result, and the Likud seems to be doing well according to the exit polls. What can you tell us? What is the reaction on the ground right now?
Well, Benita and Kalev, I must take you back a few months ago to the September 2019 election. I was right here, and at 10 o'clock local time when the exit polls came out, there was really a bitter silence here. You could not hear anyone speak. They were overwhelmed, and this time around we can hear screams right here behind me. We are not seeing many Likud party supporters yet, but as it appears, Netanyahu is getting closer to this landslide victory. He was so eager to score, not just becoming the bigger party by a great margin vis-a-vis the Blue and White party, but also getting the right-wing bloc closer to the golden number of 61 seats that will enable him not just to form a government, but the government of his dreams, a coalition consisting of right-wingers, only the 2 ultra-Orthodox parties, the right-wing Yamina list, and of course his own Likud party. I assume that we will be seeing a flood of Likud party supporters arriving here in the coming minutes. Again, I think there's somewhat of trauma after last time when they were here, very upset. This time around it appears to be the exact opposite of what happened. And indeed, the main focus perhaps of Netanyahu's campaign was to head out and talk to the people. And he indeed went from city to city to mobilize and motivate right-wingers to head out and vote. It seems to be working in his benefit this time around. Kalev and Benita.
Working to his benefit for his party, but I do want to just analyze and break down the results according to the blocks. According to the Khan network, that's Israel's public television, while the Likud has gained to become the biggest party, the right-wing bloc that fully supports Netanyahu is at 60 seats. And that leaves both the Arab parties and the center-left at 54. So actually, we are sort of still at a deadlock with an advantage, a slight advantage to Netanyahu to forming a government. As we can see here, his party is the biggest party. He is very close. And these are not actual results. These are exit polls. He's very close to getting that 61 seats. But at least according to 2 of the exit polls, he is falling just 1 seat short of that. So I want to go to senior correspondent Owen Alterman at Blue and White Party headquarters. There's nothing definitive about these results, but they have to be a disappointment and a worry to the Blue and White Party, Owen.
Absolutely, Kalev, but they'll be hanging on the first part of what you said, that there's nothing definitive about these results. Again, Blue and White was burned after the first elections in April, when behind me at an event that Blue and White held that night, you would have seen a huge celebration of activists that would have showed a 60-60 deadlock in what were then 2 blocks in the Israeli parliament. As we all remember, it was not to be. Netanyahu had the advantage that election night, even if he famously wasn't able to form a government after that. But look, we're obviously seeing a very muted reaction here from these results, and there's no question that Blue and White will be very, very disappointed and concerned by these. But Kalev, I'm sure that the party will want to wait for actual votes to be counted in the hours to come, and we'll all be waiting to see if these exit poll results bear out or if the actual vote count leads to something different.
Owen Alterman reporting there from Tel Aviv. Thank you too to Ellie Hochenberg, who's also there in Tel Aviv. We, of course, will be coming back to you as we get more clarity on exactly what these latest exit polls mean. Right now, for more, we welcome to studio Daniel Sheck, former Israeli ambassador to France and a political commentator, and Ruthie Blum, a columnist for the Jerusalem Post. And we were told it was going to be dramatic, and we need to clarify these are exit polls. This is nothing definitive. Right. They have been wrong before. We really need to reiterate this. That said, Ruthie, let's start with you. From what we're hearing at this early stage, what do you make out of this drama?
Well, I'm also hesitant to celebrate. It's no secret that I favor a Likud-led government. But I'm also hesitant to celebrate because in 2015, the candidates went to sleep that night. We thought that Netanyahu had been defeated, and in fact, in the morning, it turned out that he had not. So I think we should all be careful. What did seem clear this week, the Likud in the polls, in the most reliable polls, was already overtaking Blue and White. Now, that didn't mean that there wasn't going to be a deadlock, as Kalev pointed out before, because as long as Netanyahu does not have 61 seats, we can be in a similar deadlock. But this is encouraging for Netanyahu. There's no question about it.
Right. So, again, I want to reiterate what we have said earlier, that in this election, Benjamin Netanyahu's Likud party has managed to reverse its come-from-behind status that it had to Blue and White. According to all the exit polls, they have actually now overtaken Blue and White, and we saw this trend the last few days. There you see Israeli TV results, Channel 11, the Likud at 36 seats, the Blue and White party at 33, the joint Arab list that is at 15, the right-wing Yamina party 7, the United Torah Judaism 8, Shas 9, Labor Gesher at 6, and Yisrael Beitenu at 6. And now let's look at Channel 12. Again there, 37 seats for the Likud, Benjamin Netanyahu, 33 seats for Benny Gantz's Blue and White, 14 for the joint Arab list, 7 for the hawkish right-wing Yamina party, 7 for the religious United Torah Judaism, Shas, another religious party, 9 seats, Labor, Gesher, Meretz, that's the left-wing list, that's at 7, and Yisrael Beitenu at 6. And then we're going to let the last one, Channel 13. Here is the biggest gap, the most dramatic, 37 seats for Likud, 32 seats for Blue and White, joint Arab list for 14, Yamina down to 6, United Torah Judaism at 8, the Shas party, religious party at 9, Labor Gesher Meretz at 6, and Yisrael Beitenu at 8. The bottom line here, though, is certainly these are not definitive results. We don't see yet Benjamin Netanyahu with a clear road of forming government. But, Daniel, it has to be a disappointment for the Blue and White party and Benny Gantz.
It's a disappointment. You know, it's the losing end of the exit polls who usually reiterate that these are not final results. To be quite honest. So I hope these are not final results. Since my friend Ruthie has exposed her inclinations, mine will be exposed too. I would prefer... I wouldn't say I'm against a Likud government. I'm definitely against the Benjamin Netanyahu government for a number of reasons which we will have ample time to discuss. But it has to be said that in the last few days, we already felt a reversal in the trend, and that Netanyahu came into election day riding a positive wave. And the last polls were better than the ones before last. So in a sense, it is not completely a surprise that he has obtained, that Likud and the right-wing bloc have obtained such a good result. There were indications to it. Now, clearly, as you said in the introduction, the end result is going to play one seat more, one seat less, can have far-reaching repercussions on the ability of Netanyahu to form a government. I think the issue of Benny Gantz forming a government is more or less settled. I can't see how this can work if the math is more or less as we see it. So the whole question is now, is Netanyahu in a position to form a government, or are we again in a deadlock?
And we're hearing right now the first reaction, just moments into these exit polls, is from Naftali Bennett, the defense minister, who is saying that he will support Benjamin Netanyahu in a government. That coming out in just the last few moments. We're also hearing Benjamin Netanyahu is taking to Twitter with a heart to say thank you. What do you make of this? This is really an early response, as we keep on saying, nothing definitive yet, but clearly some cause for celebration amongst the right wing.
Well, I think what it indicates is that Netanyahu's